The year of Jubilee is different. The land is not to be sold forever. We're not supposed to be selling land. And a Jubilee is to be observed at the end of every 7 land Sabbath. That's 49 years. The Jubilee is to start and be proclaimed on the Day of Atonement. So the Day of Atonement is when it starts. You shall blow the shofar to announce the Jubilee. On the year of Jubilee, you shall return every man to his land. The Jubilee is about land. There's plenty of land for everybody.
Where?
Have you driven by Nebraska or Iowa or? I know. There's a problem with some of the laws that have happened. In the 60s, it's called the Homestead Act.
Right.
They got rid of being able to homestead. America claimed all the land. Now the government owns it, and we have to buy it from them, or it's not available to us. So it's correct. We can't just go out and stake our land, but that's the way God wants it to be. He wants us to spread. He doesn't want us to populate in cities like we're doing. He wants us to spread. And not following the year of Jubilee and the year of release is the reason for that. All those in slavery to another are to be released from their contract and allowed to return to their family. Now, this is also a year of release. You shall not sow or reap on the Jubilee, but you shall eat the increase gathered in the previous years. You are to buy and sell according to the Jubilee year. So your buying and selling should reflect how many years are left when you're dealing with land. You and your family may redeem your land if you pay the price of the number of years remaining. So you can redeem it if you're thinking 50 years. How much is that worth? You have to prorate it and deal with the price that way. If the land is not redeemed, it remains in the hand of the purchaser until the Jubilee. Houses in a walled city may be redeemed within 1 year. Walled cities are treated differently. If a house in a walled city is not redeemed within 1 year, it shall belong to the purchaser forever. So you can sell city houses. Houses in villages with no walls shall be returned in the Jubilee. So a suburb or a village is a lot like living on the land, living out in the middle of nowhere or farming or something like that.
Interesting.
The Levites may redeem their land or houses at any time. And the Levites' land in the suburbs cannot be sold. It is theirs perpetually. So the Levites have some extra protection. What is going on here? Let's quickly take a look here. A quick summary. God owns all the land. That is just a fact across the world. Our governments know it. They act accordingly. Property has never been assessed or taxed in America. Never. We call it a property tax, but it's not a property tax. It's a tax on what comes from the property. That's the only thing they can tax. They've never been, you just can't do it. Property, God does not allow property tax. Even though we want to call it that, if you read what it says, I should have put it up here, it's not a property tax. It's not a tax on property. We lease the land, and it has to be returned. Every 7 years, debt is to be forgiven. This includes everything except the land. The land goes to the Jubilee. America still has a 7-year bankruptcy law. This is where this comes from under the common law. That's the way they construed it. It wasn't correct. But when you don't know when the year of release is or the land Sabbath, how do you know how to do it? They just picked 7 years. It's close, but not quite right. So under the common law, you always get your 7 years. Every 50 years, all land is to be returned. Land is our inheritance. It stays in the family. If you've homesteaded and you're going out and working on your land, it will come back, even if you've lost it for some reason in the year of Jubilee. But who loses out? Well, probably the person that lost it. Hopefully the next line coming in will do a better job. But land is very important. It's sacred to God. It stays in the family. But every 7 years, debt's cleared. What this is for, it stabilizes the economy. Does America need that? Yeah. If we declared a land Sabbath or Jubilee, America's problems would disappear. It balances the budget every 7 years. That is the whole point. Everything's wiped clean. Does not America need to do this? Are we not reaping the consequences for not doing this? Yes. That is the whole purpose. It relinquishes you of your personal debt and gives you a fresh start, and the nation of debt. This would solve all of America's financial problems right now. To sum up all that, that's basically what it's for. To solve our debt problems. If we did it, we wouldn't have these debt problems.